Stop looking at my screen because then I look like I'm rolling my eyes.
Stop rolling your eyes at me, Nikki. What's going on, guys? Today with the MOVEMETOTX Team. We are live. Nikki's rolling her eyes at me.
Yeah. Always.
You just did it. So if you have seen us live before, you've seen Nikki. Normally she has a plain wall behind her, but she has shifted her office a little bit. So now she's got a news article behind her. So really exciting stuff here with the MOVEMETOTX Team. She's got some monitors now. You should post your monitors online. Give the people what they want. Show them what your office looks like.
Yeah. Big changes happening over here.
Yeah. Cool. So how's your day? What's new? How's life?
It's been good. It's been a busy day. A lot going on. I've seen you, I think, like 3 times today already now.
Yeah, it's really fun. One of the things that we're working on this year is trying to be more collaborative with meetings. So we have been on each other's Zooms a lot so far this year, and we are 12 days into the year. So if we're not spending time I guess we were in person today too. So I saw you in person, I saw you on Zoom, and now here we are. So hey guys. Today we're going to be talking about the home buying process and some stuff with that. Drop a note in the comments where you're listening from, whether that's your city or the location in your home. I don't want to get very personal, so it'd be like living room, kitchen, things like that. So yeah, let me know where you're listening from. Let me know that you're out there. Otherwise, it's probably like my mom and Nikki's sister watching. So say hello, say what's up, say that's all I've got. So I think one of the things that I want to talk about today, we do have one of our lenders joining us here sometime between now and 10 p.m. I think that we wanted to chat a little bit about just some of the frequently asked questions that we get from buyers, and things that it's like, I feel like a lot of times people are like, oh, like I feel like this is a stupid question, and I would always say that there are no stupid questions. There are no stupid questions. I'm just trying to be funny. Trey, what's going on? Trey is a kick-ass agent in San Antonio. What's the number one question, Trey, that you get from home buyers when they are looking to purchase a home? We could just sit here in silence until he types a question, or not. Yeah. Nikki, I feel like one that I get is, how long does it take? How long does it take to buy a house?
Yeah, we get that question all the time, and it's going to be, of course, dependent on your time frame of when you need to move. But also, like, what is your budget? That also can, affect your timeline. Closing is going to take anywhere from 30 to 45 days typically. The market's been super busy, so it's kind of erring on the side of the 45 days somewhat. But those are questions to ask your lender. And then, your availability to get out and see some homes.
Yeah. I normally like to tell people, like, obviously the 30 to 45 day rule, right? So if we were to go under contract today, you would normally close between 30 to 35 to maybe 45 days out, obviously depending on your situation and the seller's situation, right? But 30 to 45 days is a normal escrow period in Texas. But then I normally tell people to give it like anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks of actually looking, right? Like 2 to 4 weeks is normally about the time. So like if your lease is up at a certain time frame, you normally want to start anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks plus 30 to 45 days would be anywhere between 2 months to 3 months before your actual desired move date. I think if you're considering both new construction and resale, that could maybe be, instead of 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 months out, because sometimes with new construction, it has not yet been built. But as far as like starting the process and at least having a conversation with an agent, I would say anywhere between 6 to 12 months out could be a good time frame. Would you agree or disagree?
Absolutely. A lot of people, are like, man, that's a lot of time before, like, I'm not ready. I want to get started like just 2 months before, but the 6 months to 12 months out really gives you some time to get to know the process, get to know your agent, and really set up a plan moving forward. So then it's not just like a chaotic thing moving into finding a home.
Yeah, I enjoy things to not be chaotic in my life. And I think, I don't know about your experience, Nikki, when you bought your home, but I think that the one thing that I was glad, we talked to a lender probably in like June and we ended up buying in December. But I liked that they were able to give us some things that we could do to improve our credit, which helped to decrease our interest rate between June and December. And if we would have talked to them in October or November when we were like actually looking at houses, we probably wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, talking with a lender early on rather than later definitely gives you a little bit more insight on what's going to be the best option for you. Waiting and working on some things, or just going ahead and jumping in.
100%. What would you say is the number one question you probably get?
I get a lot of times like, what is the difference between down payment and closing costs? Like whenever I'm going over things, a lot of like down payment questions.
Yeah. I wish we had a lender on here to talk about that.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Well, let's table that question for when we have our lender come on. I think we should, like, as soon as Paige gets in, we should just like, and then be like, what's this? What's this? What's this? I'm just kidding. Maybe I am. But as far as budgeting, I think that one of the things that people think about a lot is like their down payment or what they need to pay to get into that home. But I think what they don't always consider is like the total cost of owning a home, right? So like, not only do you have like, you know, the cost to move and your loan fees and stuff like that, but like what should you be saving when you're living in a home, right? Like what are things that may happen while you're living in a home? So like HOA fees, home maintenance costs, stuff like that. Like you should always be putting some money away just in case, you know, something happens that you need to repair or fix.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the worst thing that could happen was your AC goes out and it's a large fix in the middle of the Houston heat summer. That would suck.
We're in the heat right now because what temperature is it outside? It's
like 50 something.
It's in weather. God, it is only 48. I am such a baby. I had a listing consultation before this and we were outside and I had on, you know, this, like I have on a shirt underneath and then I have on this pullover and I had this like all zipped up and then I had my Patagonia jacket on and it's a thin one. I don't have it on me, but it's a thin one. And I was like, I wanted to put my hood on, but I'm like, okay, you know. But I was sitting there like this with my hands in my pockets. It was bad.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of cold weather.
But yeah, so just kind of along the lines of budgeting, I think, you know, budgeting out for HOA fees, budgeting out, like if you have a yard, you know, are you going to buy a lawnmower and do it yourself? Are you going to need to hire a landscape company or a guy to cut your lawn? You know, along the lines of budgeting, moving. Obviously, moving costs money. So are you going to move yourself or are you going to hire movers? And then again, just like if your AC goes out, if things happen, having that emergency fund.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. What's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection? I get that a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one. Inspection, super important to get on your own so that you know like what's going on in the home and definitely know more about like the 5 major things: roofing, foundation, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. And then your appraisal is going to be ordered by your lender, and that's to assess the market value of the home so that they can assess their risk for lending you the money to buy that home.
Yeah, basically they want to make sure if you're buying a house at $300,000 that it's worth $300,000 or more because they are probably giving you somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000. So
yeah.
Cool. I think, a lot of people probably ask too, like, Nikki, do I need to get an inspection? You said it's $500. That seems like it's a lot of money. I think I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah, I know. You know, I've had a couple clients recently. They're like, can we just not do an inspection? Like, why should I get that? And like, why can't I just like go in, like see some things? And then the inspector is going to see things that you are not seeing. Like we can see a lot of things cosmetically, specifically with the property, but they're going to be able to see everything that you're not seeing and even point out things that, you know, are not major things right now that you need to worry about, but just like for maintenance of while you're owning the home that you should keep in mind. So it's a great report to have.
Yeah, no, I think that, that is definitely something that, you know, if it's $500 or $600, I would rather spend that up front and know if there's a major, you know, something wrong with the home, as opposed to not doing the inspection and then buying this home and then getting stuck with a $30,000 repair bill or something like that, right?
Yeah, that would definitely be.
So yeah, I mean, those would be things that would be of concern to me. I'm trying to think of other things that are questions people get, or questions that people have. How many homes do people normally look at, Nikki?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that depends on how specific you are in your search. I have people that want to look at 20 homes, and then I have people that are so specific and know exactly like what they want just from like looking at pictures online that they're just like, oh, just need to see these 3. So yeah, I mean, the more specific, the better if you've seen a lot. But
so so Zillow, they do an annual report on the housing market every year, and I was trying to see if I could look it up, and it's crazy too. They basically provide like all of the data for like, and this would be something you would love. They do like all of the data of like, you know, the average of how many homes and like the percentages of, you know, people that XYZ. And I was trying to see if I could find it. It's never easy to find research. Here we go.
How many homes like people go and look at before they purchase?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
cool.
I like but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it offhand. But if y'all have questions on the home buying process, please feel free to drop them in the comments to try to stump Nikki. She loves difficult questions and loves to, I don't know what Nikki loves. She loves
home buying.
She loves her dogs. She loves talking about homes.
I had to lock them out tonight.
I was trying to. So have you ever, let's just go completely off topic here, guys. Sorry if you're actually watching this because you want to buy a home, but Nikki, I know you're a dog owner. Have you ever tethered your dog to you? Are you familiar with the concept?
No, but is Ryan doing that?
Why would you just immediately go to if Ryan's doing that?
Because I think he told me.
Okay. Well, I've been trying to also do it. Ryan does it.
Oh, nice.
We both do it. But I'm trying to find a good picture. Oh, this is not a good picture because it's a man and a cat. Here we go. So
I have never tried it.
The concept of tethering, we're going very off. Let's see.
A little something for all the dog lovers.
So this is dog tethering. It's basically where you tie the leash around you, and then your dog is supposed to, now that they're connected to you, be just like the best dog ever. So we've been trying to do this, and I actually had brought Noodle up here because I was planning on keeping her tethered to me on the floor to do the thing. But then she started chewing on my foot and the chair, and I was like, this isn't gonna work. So I had to take her downstairs and you know, put her away. But yeah, so this is tethering. Look at how nice these dogs, you know, they're just like so nicely sitting.
Yeah, I wish I could turn the camera around so you could see it. My dog is using my other dog as like a step stool right now, looking in the window of my office door.
That's what you get for putting in, you know, clear doors.
Yes.
That's funny.
I don't think the tethering would work very well with Aussies.
Yeah, I don't know how well it works with my dog either, but we are trying it. And yeah. So one of the things I feel like I want to kind of talk about as far as the housing market goes is everyone says people are moving to the burbs because they don't want to live in the city. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's great. It seems like a lot of people, you know, some people have definitely moved out and wanted more yard. And like the top thing people are asking me about actually is a pool. Like they want a little bit more space for a pool, of course.
How easy is it to get a pool these days, Nikki?
Not easy. Not easy.
Sorry, guys. That was a personal jab. Nikki should be getting a pool sometime between now and 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think pools are definitely something, especially like knowing we've been home a lot and we'll probably continue to. But yeah, I mean, I think with the entire, people going to the suburbs is, at least here for the people that we've dealt with this year that have moved from the city to the burbs, a lot of them were already planning on doing it, right? Like they worked in Clear Lake, they worked in Katy, they worked in the Woodlands. So like whatever had changed to the point that they were like, okay, let's find a house. But like the pandemic maybe just accelerated that slightly, but it was already in their plans. It's not like they were like, I can't live in the city anymore, let's get out of Houston.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I would have to agree with that. I think your city lovers, the ones that love living in the city, are still here. They're still living and moving around in the city.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that like being in the city in Houston is a lot different than like DC or LA or San Francisco, New York. Like our population density is significantly less dense than those places.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find this report.
Oh, still a report.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still over here. But yeah. Oh, what do you think? This is a little trivia. Nikki, what do you think is the number one financial sacrifice that buyers make in order to purchase a home? And think about this in 2019. So like 2020, obviously everyone adjusted their spending, right? But in 2019, what do you think the number one thing was that people sacrificed in order to purchase their home?
So like what they didn't do so they could save, or like have the mortgage, or all of that? Is that what you're?
Yeah.
I would say eating out as much here in Houston.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, that's so great. So yeah, the number one thing that financial sacrifice that buyers made in 2019 was actually 25% of them reduced spending on entertainment. 18% picked up additional work, 16% postponed or canceled vacation plans. So as we see for a lot of these things, at least in 2020, a lot of them were adjusted, right? But yeah, so interesting there. So yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of times I get questions about like, what's up?
Hello.
So yeah, we've just been kind of shooting the breeze over here, hanging out. So you are like on Facebook right now, just hanging with us. What's going on? Paige was busy getting people pre-approved and slanging loans.
Literally, I thought 2020 was crazy. 2021 is blowing 2020 out of the water.
Well, I know you had some big scary goals and lots of families you wanted to help, so we're well on our way. Cool. Well, we're just gonna hop right into it. What is the difference between down payment and closing costs?
So you pose, that is like literally the best question.
I know.
So a lot of I'm actually gonna move my camera over here. Oh, much better. So down payment and closing cost. I get asked this question all of the time. Does this number include closing cost? Is this number including my down payment? By realtors, clients alike. So it's not just realtors, it's not just clients, it's everybody. So down payment is the money that you're putting down towards your home. So if you're buying an FHA home, you're typically doing 3.5%. You're doing maybe 5%. If you're buying conventional, you're putting 3 to 5% down as a minimum. If you're doing VA, you're doing 0% down. So that is your down payment. Your closing cost is the cost to purchase the home. So it's the best way for me to explain it is when you go to Ross or you go to Marshall's or you go to Target or you go anywhere, that outfit those pair of jeans are $29.95, but you have tax on top of that. And that's the best way for me to explain it. Just put it in perspective, this is just a way more expensive pair of jeans. So
what kind of jeans are you buying?
$29.95. I don't know, but if anyone has any suggestions, I would gladly take them. But that's the difference between, I mean, closing costs are the things like the title company cost, the cost for the lender, 12 months of homeowners insurance. There's, a lot of different things that play into closing costs.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Yeah. I'm trying to let me reference my list of questions. Yeah, what are closing costs? So yeah, you mentioned that down payments vary, right?
Yeah.
Between an FHA loan, a conventional loan, a this, a that. So I think one of the things that I put as far as like the title on this was talking a little bit about down payment assistance. So we've had clients utilize lots of different programs, things like that. What would you say, like, if someone's trying to decide if they want to do, trying to weigh their options, how do you kind of walk?
So we like to do a consultation. We like to kind of utilize this experience as just as you would anything else. So when you go to talk to your financial advisor, when you go to have any large transaction in your life, you go through a consultation. So we like to do the same thing. So show you a couple different options, kind of determine what is going to make the most sense. Right now, most down payment assistance is just as low as if you were to not go down payment assistance. And so in most cases, it almost kind of makes sense, especially if you're a first-time home buyer and need to buy a fridge, blinds, washer and dryer, things like that. That can definitely add up to be quite a bit of money.
Yeah, that's surprising. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because normally, historically, down payment assistance programs, like at least in 2019 and maybe 2020, were like 5% interest, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, if you really need this money, then do this program. And that's what I've always been a proponent about. Like, hey, like if you don't have the cash, then let's do a down payment assistance program. But just know that depending on the programs and whatever, like if you're at 5% interest, like, you need to live there for a while.
For sure. Yeah, I'm actually looking right now on the website. Rates today for one of the grant programs that we're using, it's 3%. So it did get down as low as about 2.75, and it just varies with the market, just like you might see. But yeah, it's 3%, and you get 3% of free money for a 3% interest rate. So that's not a huge. We're not hugely off from the base of what would be. Yeah. So it's just like, that's why we like to do those consultations, because again, if you're going in and buying a home that you need a washer, dryer, fridge, well, that's just been eaten away by your 3.5% down. So it could make long-term sense for clients.
If someone's doing a down payment assistance program, is there like a specific time they would need to live in the home, or do they ever have to pay that money back, or how does that work?
Those are great questions. So it really depends on the program. The programs that we try to put people in vary. So one of the options that we do is a bond, it's a non-bond. So if you're doing a bond program, you have to pay that money back or live in the home for a certain amount of time. So example, one of the programs, you have to live in the home for 36 months or pay the money back for 3 years. Not bad, right?
I'm trying to do the math.
Math is hard. And then the other one, which is a non-bond, you have to live in the home, or you have to make 6 payments. And 6 payments, most people, 99.9999% of people are going to live in that home for 6 months. So, so that non-bond, that's a 3% interest rate. And then if you that bond, which means do not pay it back. The non-bond, which you do pay back, the rate is actually a little bit lower than the non-bond. So, most people, it's not a big enough difference for us to kind of put someone in the position to where they have to stay there for 3 years. So we typically try to put people on that non-bond so they don't have to worry the stress. I literally talked to somebody yesterday where they forgot they had they did an 80-20 loan back in 2005, back in the good old days. And they forgot about that 20% loan. And they lived in that home for 18 years, and it came due, and it was in December. And so they had to come up with $40,000 in December, lest their home get foreclosed on.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of people don't buy their first home and stay in it for 18 years. So
that's also very surprising of that story.
I told her, I was like, that was the impressive part. Not the
how are you still living there? You're still living there?
Yeah.
No, that's really good information. I feel like I'm peppering you with questions. Nikki, do you have any questions or thoughts?
No, I mean, she's hitting them. We get asked all the time, like clients are like, you know, if I can get some assistance, it's gonna be my first time. So Paige just like nailed that. You know, and like us, I think we're gonna look into the difference of down payment versus FHA, and other options and things like that. So
Yeah. Cool. So I mean, I guess we covered kind of the concept of it. So yeah, I mean, I guess my question would be is if you're doing some sort of down payment assistance program that covers your down payment, right? There also then are closing costs. Let's see what I'm trying to verbalize something that clearly isn't going from my head to my mouth. Cool. Have you eaten dinner yet, Paige?
I have not. What are y'all eating tonight?
I'm either gonna eat chili or chicken. I've got a few. We're doing meal prep now. We started doing meal prep a couple months ago, and we've got a bunch of meals in the fridge. So I get to eat one of those. I was eating chips earlier. They were paleo chips. We're gonna pretend like they're healthy. Like, you know, when people are like, oh, it's vegan, it's healthy.
Vegan.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess,
It's healthy.
what would you say? You know, obviously, let me like preface this little asterisk. Like everyone's credit's different, everyone's finances are different, their savings are different. So obviously, like we're speaking in super general terms as far as different programs and things like that. So like if you are thinking about buying a home, one thing that we were talking about before you got on was that if you are thinking about buying a home, like I know I talked to my lender when I bought my home 6 months before I bought my first home, because it gave me the opportunity to like improve my credit and decrease my interest rate between today and 6 months from now. So if you're thinking about buying a home, I would recommend reaching out sooner rather than later, even if you're thinking of moving in a year, 2 years, whatever. So I just wanted to kind of caveat that. But I guess when you're kind of going through this with a potential client, like what are the things that you look at of like, should I do an FHA loan with a 3.5% down payment, or like should I do a down payment assistance program? And like, you know, how do you kind of weigh the cost benefit on those?
So great question. And I actually had this question with a client last week. He was gung-ho about going 3.5% down. You know, it's hard. Words are hard right now. 3.5% down FHA. But he was a first-time home buyer and 3%. Oh,
sorry, it's gung, G-U-N-G.
Gung. Oh, did you look it up? Did you Google?
Yeah, so it's G-U-N-G.
I was like, wow, you just said smart.
No, I am not. Google is though. So
gung-ho. Gung-ho. I like it. All right. Okay.
So talk to a potential borrower that was gung-ho.
FHA versus conventional. And so we kind of talked about the options. So the perks of going conventional is that, sorry, I got off on like a rabbit trail in my brain. The perks of going conventional is that your mortgage insurance does fall off once you have 20% equity. So it's a huge plus, right? Especially right now for people who maybe purchased 5 years ago, and home prices have definitely increased drastically over the past 12 months. And so their home value might be, let's just say, already at 20% after living in the home for 5 years. So that they could ask for their mortgage insurance to be removed. So great. But if you have FHA, you typically, there are ways to get it removed. That's a whole different topic. We can talk on that for like hours. But if you go FHA, traditionally and typically, your mortgage insurance is not removed. But the reason to go FHA would be if maybe your credit is maybe sub 700, you'll get definitely a better interest rate with FHA than you would if you were going conventional. FHA has also a little bit linear credit guidelines, meaning if you've had a bankruptcy recently, you've had a foreclosure, things like that. That would be another reason to go FHA versus conventional. So every person's going to be different. You are going to be completely different than your neighbor, who's going to be completely different from their neighbor. So it's really definitely kind of putting you into not whatever that mold is, and definitely finding someone who can customize your option for you. It's like Whataburger.
Are you going to get Whataburger?
No, I'm not going to get Whataburger.
2021 diet out the window.
Done.
One of my buddies posted like a chicken fried steak on like January 5th. I was just like, bro, like diet gone. He's like, diet gone.
Oh man.
So if I'm doing a down payment assistance program, is that normally conventional loan?
No, it's actually traditionally FHA. There are instances where it can be conventional. And also, if you weren't aware, if you're a VA client, your closing costs should be minimal regardless. However, if you get into a bidding war in a situation to where you might not be able to get closing costs covered, but it is important, you actually do have the ability to go with a grant program and have all of your closing costs covered and still do 0% down. So we've actually done that a couple times where people got into a bidding war. They were VA, they needed closing costs. We just, we went through them 0% down, no closing costs covered, and they actually offered to pay the title policy, got them a 4% or 3% grant, and that covered all of their closing costs. And they were able to win the bid by not paying title policy or, picking up the title policy. So, yeah. Cool stuff.
Nice.
What would you say is the number one question you get from potential borrowers?
What does my credit need to be? How much money do I need to have? All that kind. I mean, typically is my credit good enough to buy a home? And my first suggestion is, like you were saying, once you're 12 months out from buying, go ahead and apply. One inquiry on your credit is not going to be a deal breaker. It doesn't matter if you have a 700 or 800 credit score or a 400 credit score. One inquiry is not going to be a deal breaker from you getting the best possible interest rate 12 months down the road. My second thing I would tell people to do is download My FICO. It's an app and a website, and will actually give you all of your credit scores. So it'll give you your auto, your credit card, your installment loan, your credit for your car insurance. I don't know if you knew that, but car insurance is actually credit-based. So is homeowners insurance is credit-based. So a lot of that is all credit-based. And so it's kind of good to know what you do. I actually have My FICO. I use it. I actually do the Premier option because I'm a weirdo and like to look at my credit every single month. Also has a simulator on there. It also tells you like, hey, this decreased and constantly updates and tells you what your score is. And so I think that's just a good tool for people to use once you're about 12 months out from buying. It's definitely good to use that. And that will also give you your mortgage score, which is completely different than your car score, your credit card score, your
Credit Karma score.
Stop using Credit Karma.
Why?
So it's awful. It's anything free is not worth using.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Paige, because I have clients.
Free is not worth using. If it is free, it is probably not a good tool to be using when looking at anything. So if it is free, do not, that's obvious, that should be a big red flag. So Credit Karma, basically what they do is they actually sell your information. So you have to give them your name, telephone number, email address, where you currently live, and your past residences for the past 2 years. So then they're going to do a soft pull on your credit report and get that free information from TransUnion and Equifax, I think it is, or Experian. And then from there, they're going to monitor your credit utilizing this free data that they've been given. All while doing so, the way that they power their website is by selling your information to other creditors. So you will start noticing a ton of solicitation mail, a ton of emails, some phone calls, and it's not accurate information. My Credit Karma score is 180 points less than my actual credit score, which is wild to me. And if I saw that, I would think I'm never buying anything, but thankfully I know the difference. But really and truly, if it's free, it's not worth using. Like, I know I've said that now 5 or 6 times, but if it's free, it's not worth using. And the credit bureaus also, a lot of people don't know this, but the credit bureaus are actually some of the largest for-profit companies in the United States. They're billion-dollar corporations. So they are not necessarily in it to assist consumers. So definitely, if you aren't looking at your credit report annually, you should be, just to make sure that everything is being reported accurately.
You do get 1 free credit report per year.
Yep.
If you're not doing something like My FICO, you can get 1 free report. I think it's annual.
Annualcreditreport.com And I tell people just to pull it on their birthday because that's a date you'll never forget.
What a fun birthday gift.
That's Paige's favorite thing to do.
Shit. This is like, welcome to 30. Like, oh, I'm going to go take some Advil, check my credit, and be in bed by 9. Like, all right.
Like 8:30 would be the ideal. Like I would be at this point, like putting on my eye cream and like getting ready to like, putting my phone on nighttime mode.
Yes.
Yeah, getting the blue blockers on, welcome to 30. I was just in a clubhouse yesterday with a friend of mine that recently hit her 30s, and she's very excited about it, actually. And I was making fun of her. I was like, "How are your hangovers?" She's like, "I don't even want to talk about it."
They're awful. It was
not worth it.
All right, we've gotten a little bit off topic, surprisingly. Normally we're staying on that topic. So yeah, no to Credit Karma. You can get a free annual credit report from.
Even if you have a major credit card, they will also give you that is free. You're paying for it, obviously, with your annual subscription, but you're paying for it with your annual subscription, and obviously the 20% interest that you're paying to them. Hopefully not because you're paying your credit cards every month, but you are definitely paying for it in some way, shape, or form. So if you don't want to spend the $30 a month to monitor your credit with MyFICO, just use like that tool. That's a good free tool because it's not technically free, but.
What is?
Talk to me.
Okay, credit reports. What is the biggest myth you've ever heard, or biggest thing that people do to their credit when they think they're improving it, but they're really screwing it up?
Disputing. Stop this. I have to remove them. I have to remove every single dispute on the credit report. So stop disputing stuff.
Stop. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know what a credit dispute is. What is that?
So it's when you go in as the consumer on your Credit Karma app.
Oh gosh.
Do it on Credit Karma. I'm saying that jokingly, but you like literally can't do it on Credit Karma. You go on your Credit Karma app or wherever. Let's say you're on Equifax.com and you've decided you want to dispute something. Well, when you're going through someone, when you're going through a credit, like credit restoration or something like that, a lot of the times they'll tell you to dispute stuff. And in some cases, in the long term, it could fall off. But in the short term, doing it right before you buy a house, we have to remove those disputes because it's like putting a Band-Aid over a wound and letting that wound kind of fester. And then we pull that Band-Aid off Katie, that's exactly right. We pull that Band-Aid off and the real score is shown. And a lot of times it's not going to affect your score enough to be worth actually disputing something. So
the metaphors there are wonderful. I appreciate the graphic.
You'll never forget it.
No, I appreciate you explaining it so well. Ladies and gentlemen, Paige Bowman. Nikki, what do you got? What do you got over there? I feel like I'm monopolizing the conversation.
I too.
Y'all, she's good at loans. She may not be great at pointing at things on the screen, but she's good at loans. She's good at the home loan game. So.
I box it in, Paige.
She's trying to point to it. She's trying to pretend like she's not. But
hilarious. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. So yeah, we want to talk loans today, FHA loans versus down payment assistance. So yeah, that is something that I did not know in today's market, that there are some down payment assistance programs with interest rates at 3%. I have always told clients that the interest rates are terrible. So I, strongly advise them not to unless they truly, truly, truly need that money. But that's crazy. Are there income caps on down payment assistance programs?
Yes, there are definitely income calculation or income caps. So you can actually go to www.tshach.org, and that will give you a little bit more information about some grant programs. So it's the Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation. So tshach.org, and you can actually, as a home buyer, read up about it and learn just a little bit more about the programs and the tools. And so from there, You can go to Home Buyers and Renters and just kind of read about the different programs. You can take the eligibility quiz, things like that. It's actually quite a bit of money that you can make annually and still qualify for these programs, especially if it's you and your spouse or you and your child purchasing.
I've always loved that T-Shack is what it is, and it's T-Sahak. How you pronounce it, you know.
Listen, T-Shack, it could work.
Yeah.
I don't know where we came up with that as lenders. Who's the first person?
Well, I feel like someone they were sitting in the room at T-Shack and they're like, I know it's Sahak, but T-Shack just rolls off the tongue. And then there was a joke. What?
Tadaka. It's another grant program.
Yeah.
And then everyone in the lending world knows immediately what you're talking about.
Yeah. And everyone else watching is just like, what are these crazy people talking about? Andrea. Is T-Shack only for first-time home buyers?
No, it's not. You can actually own a home and buy T-Shack.
What?
Had somebody do it last year. Kept their home as an investment property. They had about $100,000 tied up in their home that they owned, but their payment was like $1,000, and they could rent it out for like $1,600. So their sister's a realtor, advised them strongly not to sell it and keep it for passive income. That's ton of equity in it. So instead of putting money down or pulling money out of their home, we kind of looked at that option. It just didn't make enough sense. So they actually used T-Shack to buy the next home.
Very cool. Is FHA only for first-time home buyers?
No, it is not.
Listen, I wish we had a special effects guy.
I know.
Boom.
Oh, your dog.
He said, "Hi, Mom. Hi, friends."
Man, I can't wait till I have a dog that just is chill.
I know, right?
He's not being chill right now. He's like, "You're not paying attention to me. I'm love me."
So no, FHA is also not just for first-time home buyers.
Yeah, nope. And I'm just gonna blow everyone's mind really quick. You can have 2 VA loans at the same time.
I did know that one.
Yes.
I did know that one. Depending on your eligibility, right?
Yep. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Totally a great idea to keep those sometimes as investment properties.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Cool. I want to find a question to stump you with. I know you know what you're doing, and obviously we trust you. I'm just like, what's a question to stump her? If you guys have any questions about the home buying process, we're going to give this a few more minutes. So just drop them in the comments below. Andrea, thank you for that question. That is a question we get a lot. I just texted Andrea and asked her if she wanted to join us. She said, no, thank you. So cool, whatever, Andrea. I didn't want you to join anyways. I'm just kidding. I did. It's fine. But if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. We would love to hear them. If you are not already following my friend Nikki over here and Paige down below me, their Instagram handles are in their names there. That is the easiest way to get a hold of them. Paige, actually, I have your contact info. Let me drop it in a comment here. What's another myth? What's another question?
Zillow is not good. Credit Karma is not good. We've gone over that. You don't need 20% down to buy a house. Renting is not cheaper than buying a home. So don't think that, I'm renting, it's cheaper. It's not typically. Golly, I'm literally looking through myths.
We should start a Mythbusters. Do you guys remember Mythbusters?
Yes.
Sad fact. One of them died actually recently.
Oh man.
You're just
bring it down.
Your very graphic metaphors.
Normally that's me that comes up with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm stealing your thunder.
What's a fun fact? I know Nikki's fun fact. What's a fun fact about you, Paige, for someone that may not know you?
About me personally?
Yeah. Keep things light. We can give ours if you want.
Yeah, give y'all's and let me see if I just like will feed off of that.
Let's keep it professional for a minute. Russell, does an FHA loan take longer than a conventional loan?
It does not. It actually is the same time frame. Typically, most lenders right now are about 21 to 30 days contract to close. So same thing. If you're using a grant program, that could take a little bit longer because we do add the extra layer of the state in there and getting that money from them. So we're, like a 7-layer dip. So so that could take about 30 to 37 days. But yeah, other than that, FHA, conventional, VA, all the same.
Awesome. A fun fact about me is I was born in South Korea.
Wow, that's good.
You don't sound very intrigued.
I am intrigued. That's really good.
Well, that's good.
No, I'm like, golly.
That's nice.
Cool.
Nikki, fun fact, she was born in Florida. No, that's actually not her fun fact.
Don't tell people that.
I know. They're like, shit, I'm never using her as our realtor. Florida woman.
Oh, Lord.
What's your fun fact, Nicole?
My real one, the one that I said?
Yeah. No, just the one. It's you. It's your. I think this is what your fun fact is. What you went to school for and what you did for work.
Oh, yeah. So I have a background in forensic science, and I was able to work on a serial killer crime scene.
That is my dream. Literally the only thing that we watch is ID channel at my house.
You know what? Oh my God, Nikki, missed opportunity. Okay. So if you all don't know this about me, so back in like high school, I did graphic design, and I was actually going to go to art school.
Oh, you missed that opportunity.
Yeah, so I figured like a business degree would be better. Obviously, graphic design is like a super lucrative career, but I was just like, I got nervous, whatever. So I'm going to like make like something CSI.
Please. For
nice.
But this isn't the good CSI. Hold on. Because okay, no. Oh yes, it is. Sorry. Because
Oh no, the chick is different.
Yeah. CSI Miami, no.
Not.
CSI, what is it, like New Orleans?
Not.
No.
Nikki hates
I was never able to watch any of this.
There it is.
This.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not this.
You and Mike. It could be Nikki and Mike.
Boo. Oh, but I always thought he was so cute. Now I'm like, what was I thinking? who are these people? Like, do you ever do that? You look back at things that you thought were.
You're like,
this is taking a turn.
South, guys, real South.
People watching are like, I wanted to learn how to buy a house, and what I'm drinking sparkling water, so this is just my personality. Sorry, guys.
Just water. Just water here.
Sorry, guys. Do you have a fun fact?
I don't really. Golly, I mean, I'm a family of. I have 4 sisters, or I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. So there's 5.
Are you sure?
Not really at this point in my life. I mean, I don't really. That's all I got. My mom was adopted, and that's it. And my dog is annoying right now.
All right. Well, your dog wants to know, what does a seller pay on VA loans?
So that is a great question. And Texas is one of the few states, actually there's only 2 states and Texas is one of them. The seller is actually not required to pay anything on a VA loan. So the seller is actually not required in Texas to pay anything. Again, we are one of the 2 states that it is not required, but you are required to get a pest inspection, and that is required on all VA loans.
We really need. I think I want to get like Sarah on here so she could do like special effects for me. Because like when you said pest inspection, it would have been fun to have like bugs.
Yeah.
So good.
This has been fun. This has been fun. What's the other state that doesn't have?
I honestly don't know, Russell. You really asked a great question. I'm going to find that out. I'm going to drop in the comment box later on tonight. I've always, let me look that up. VA pest inspection state.
You type very hard.
It's not me. It's my keyboard.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. Speaking of family, Paige, you work with your mother, right?
Yeah, I do. I work with my mom. I work with my sister.
Who's your sister?
Parker.
Oh, God, everyone has different last names. Throwing me off.
Yeah, that's why we do that. That's literally, we're now maxed out at the amount of people that could work with us. So like Kelly Rogers, Parker Lindsay, Paige Bowman, like no one else in my family could work with us.
I didn't know that. I've seen you guys together in photos and things like that, but I just.
It's actually 9 states where VA buyers can currently pay for the pest inspection: Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Texas.
Did you guys ever sing that song? Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. Cool. So 9 states.
Yeah.
The viewership when I started singing dropped significantly. I just would like to throw that out there.
They're like, this is just too much. Like,
please make it stop.
So circling back to seriousness, I appreciate you hopping on today. I appreciate you, helping our clients through the home buying process, and always taking the time to explain things fully and educate our clients. So, I think that's something that's very important to us as a team, is ensuring that our clients are well educated and understand. I know when I bought my home, I didn't fully understand what was happening, but like it happened. So it's something that's important to me, is like, this is where we're at. This is what's coming next. And I know that's something that y'all do. If people do want to reach out to you, contact info is now below. Our Instagram has been on the screen. What advice would you give to someone if they're looking to buy a home in 2021?
I would say start now. Start seriously applying now. Get connected with the realtor. Go through that consultation process. Learn what you need to pay for. Talk to us, talk to whoever, but just talk to someone and get educated, because far too often we find people that are literally 45 days out from having they have to close or they have to do something, and it really puts you in a bind. One, you're not as educated as you might be, because we might not have the full time to go through the process, right? 2, you might be settling on a house that you don't realize that you're settling on. So start now. If you want to buy a home by the end of the year, literally start today. Apply, get your credit pulled, go through the process, make sure you're qualifiable. If you're not, and if you're at a 680 and could be at a 700, talk to your lender and we can give you a plan to get there. So if there's some tweaks that you need to make, there's a plan that can be put in place. Download My FICO, get yourself educated, and just kind of get ready. It's going to be fun. I always tell people this. It's funny. I love my job. I feel grateful every day to wake up and do whatever I do. I help people for a living. It's literally my job. And so that's super rewarding. Selfishly, it is very rewarding. So, but it is truly, homeownership is the biggest blessing you can give yourself, literally. Tax write-offs, appreciation. It's the biggest investment that you can put the smallest amount of money down with the biggest reward. Because you're already paying rent, right? So why not just pay it towards a home and do that for yourself.
And it's also literally where you live.
Literally. And as we learned, you could end up spending months in that place. It's like an insane asylum, but your home.
Yeah, cool. What do you think is going to be, let's make some bold predictions and then we'll close it off for the evening. What do you think is going to be the biggest home trend of 2021? Nikki, what do you think?
Oh gosh. Come back to me.
Okay. Paige, what do you think?
Green accent walls and olive green. I'm not kidding you. Olive green. I'm starting to see it on a lot of influencers' pages, which means that it's going to start trickling down to the marketplace soon.
The Pantone color of the year is yellow, though.
Yeah. Who?
No. Green. Gold. Yeah.
Yellow looks good on Biggie Smalls over here. That's it.
Okay.
And gray. It's also gray.
Gray is out. Grayish is in.
Yep.
I'm taking that. Grayish.
Olive.
Yeah.
Grayish, olive.
Forest.
Doesn't have to be a color, Nikki. You can go home trend can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. I think flex space.
Okay. I feel like that was the low hanging fruit, but I'll let you take it.
Yep.
She's like, let me just grab that.
I'll let you take it. I was surprised you didn't say pool. I thought you were gonna say swimming pools.
Swimming pools, yeah, for sure.
I want to pool so bad, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Get a pool, and then we can come over. It's a good investment.
We all know that's not true. A pool is a great investment in the sense that you invest your time in it. But it's not something you will see an ROI on.
No, it will not.
Have you guys ever seen the underrated, overrated thing that Gary Vee does?
Yes.
Yes.
One of my buddies in Orlando just did underrated, overrated. His name is Ken Pozek, Pozek, in Windermere, Orlando, Florida. And he's a YouTube king. I love him. His content's so good. He does a ton of Disney stuff too, but he does housing market stuff. I'm going down the rabbit hole. He did an underrated, overrated of Disney. And it's hilarious. I haven't been to Disney in 12 years. 12 years. And it was glorious. It was hilarious.
The last time I went to Disney, a pandemic broke out. So no more Disney for me for a while.
Good to know. All right. Is there anything else that you guys want to add before we sign off for the evening?
Got anything else, Nikki?
No. I mean, you hit it hard when you came in.
The train got me, y'all. The train got me.
We did actually have a short list of questions, and we were just going to we didn't plan it out well enough to boom, 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 hit you with them. But we were just gonna be like, what's this? What's this? What's it? And then one of your answers actually encompassed all of them. So it kind of took the wind out of our sails. We were so gung ho to ask those questions.
Gung ho, yeah. New word of the day.
Ho.
Word of the day.
You're a gung ho. All right, cool guys. As always, thank you for your time. Katie Day with the MOVEMETOTX Team here with Nikki Graham and Paige Bowman talking all things home buying and mortgage. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.